Oh yes, the first day really. But it is full on snow. Got the snow plows out. It's awesome.
Welcome everybody. My name is Michael and today we're discussing about OpenAI. What has been happening this past week? A lot. First of all, the main executives and the founder was booted out, similar to Steve Jobs from his own company, only to return, pull an instant Steve Jobs, except instead of waiting 12 years, now it was within 1 week. So OpenAI and Microsoft are partnered. And with that, Microsoft, as soon as they found out the OpenAI founder and a couple executives are getting booted, they said, we welcome you with open arms because we value your work towards artificial intelligence. We know that there's a lot of money in this. We want to have you on our team. And then Microsoft helped because I guess whatever was going on with the company, the board, Microsoft was able to help with Mr. Altman returning to OpenAI. So now he's there. There's a couple policy changes and a couple people are asking, well, what happened? Why did this occur? Was it because of a company secret? Was it because the company, OpenAI, is divided, where some employees believe currently the AI is growing at a rapid pace, maybe too quickly, and they're worried about the potential consequences of this machine learning. While the other camp that's divided up is saying, no, this is a good thing. We need to even further double down, enhance this, make sure that artificial intelligence goes that next step. We are on an amazing technology. We're developing it, and there's not going to be consequences, or at least the consequences won't outweigh the good that this will do. So the company has been divided, and a lot of people believe that currently OpenAI has a company secret where it was leaked. Essentially, the rumor is they reached the critical point. And what's the critical point? Where eventually machine learning, thanks to that, artificial intelligence won't necessarily need to rely on humans for input anymore. It's just going to do it by itself. Computers, well, thank you, humans, for helping us out with the most important, the foundation for the house, but we'll build the rest ourselves. And that's where a lot of people believe the main arguments for why Mr. Sam Altman was kicked out of his own company began. So, here's the facts. Let's get into it. OpenAI has created two very important pioneering intelligence products. One of them is ChatGPT, which was in the news a lot as of last year. This is the generative text advisory program. Then you have DALL-E, which is on the other end of the spectrum for designers. It's more for artists. This is the image generator. Now, from that, OpenAI is a non-profit corporation. Now with this, it has been designed where there's multiple companies within, and one of them is for profit, where Sam Altman was the CEO, the main important entity. From that, you have the nonprofit, and above that, you have the board, which has control over everything. Well, in this case, the board decided to fire Sam Altman. One of the primary reasons for it is unknown, though. So with his departure, the board put out a statement that Mr. Altman's departure follows a deliberative review process by the board, which concluded that he was not consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities. And a lot of people said, well, what does this exactly mean? Is it related to potentially what he hinted at a conference? So what happened was, he was in Las Vegas, he was watching the Formula races, and he got invited to participate in a Zoom meeting. Went on it. Turns out the entire board was there. He was fired. Within 5 minutes, he was locked out of his computer and everything. And it wasn't just him, but it was his co-founder, Greg Brockman. But certain board members were there who later would become the CEO, such as the CTO, Mira. And then the next day, it would be another CEO. They actually went through 3 CEOs within a matter of 3 days. 5 days after the whole debacle, Mr. Altman was back as the CEO. And a lot of people are wondering, well, what was the primary reason? First of all, let's backtrack. A lot of people are wondering if OpenAI, their big secret, if they have reached AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. They've codenamed as Q-Star. With Q-Star, it could potentially have very important life-threatening consequences for all of humanity. It sounds pretty deep, and with that, even Elon Musk has expressed his concern, which he was one of the celebrity co-founders of OpenAI back in 2015. He left the project in 2018 due to disputes through differences. Now, OpenAI is a company that is handled as a nonprofit. A lot of people are looking to it as kind of the main entity in artificial intelligence. Whatever it does, it has to do it ethically. There could have been some ethical disputes, whether QStar, a potential AGI project or a first step to AGI, what is AGI? This is a point where it's a breakthrough. This artificial intelligence, thanks to machine learning, is able to use its own skills away from humans, and it's able to build its own talent. It is able to create new solutions to problems without the help of humans. It's able to create new complex problems, and eventually it will be smarter than humans. It will be more efficient. It won't rely on them anymore, and it will continue to build upon itself. This is why it could go potentially towards a very negative route. Ilya Sutskever, one of the main lead research scientists who's also on the board and the main guy who initiated the resignation of Sam Altman, which later he was one of 747 out of 770 employees who signed that the board must resign. And for Sam Altman to come back, and even Mira Miratuti, the CTO, she was on board as well, and she was the next CEO, and she resigned and said from that position, she still stayed with the company. She wanted for Sam to come back. She was working with him to try and get him back and build a new board, and that's essentially what they did. Well, Ilya and Mira and a couple other inventors, the lead research scientists, they discovered that potentially what is described here as a new model named QStar could solve basic mathematical problems. And from there, it's essentially an algorithm that is capable of solving elementary mathematical problems by itself, including parts that aren't included in its training data. It's a significant leap because now it's able to learn from itself. Hypothetically, it is a capability of AI that is able to make it perform any intellectual task that a human brain can do. It's part of a major breakthrough, a larger initiative on this team that's focused on enhancing the reasoning capabilities of AI models for scientific tasks. Now, why is this feared so much? It has advanced logical reasoning. It has understanding of abstract concepts. On a practical level, this is a major breakthrough, but it could also lead to unpredictable behaviors where scientists may not be able to fully foresee or understand before these major consequences come out. You have deep learning, you have programmed rules. This may make the model more powerful and versatile than any other current AI model, but it could also lead it to learn from bad data. It could also apply reasoning similar to humans and create mistakes that could make it difficult to control or even predict. It is a giant leap towards AGI. Even though we're not there yet, it is a step towards something that could likely surpass human capabilities in many areas, eventually leading to a program that cannot be controlled yet again. And the big thing is its capability to develop new ideas. There's a huge upside potential to this. But the downside is, again, beyond human control and comprehension. Before we even know what's going on, this artificial intelligence program can create its own ideas, it can create its own programs, and make decisions or actions that could potentially lock humans out of it. There could be unintended consequences, a lot of misuse. If someone deploys it even with good intentions, it could veer off towards the wrong path based on the complexity of QStar's reasoning. So that's the big fear. But apart from that, there was also smaller fears where Sam Altman was investing in projects such as a crypto project called WorldCoin, where they would use, it was the next step towards a universal basic income, where it was kind of like this digital eye that would scan your retinas and collect a lot of data points from that, where some people would say it's an ethical or privacy concern in certain countries around this planet. And with that, he would also divert attention from OpenAI to focus on these new projects. And there was a couple other companies where he invested in, and as a billionaire, he's certainly able to do that. But the board decided that he is turning his attention away from OpenAI, and they need a CEO or potentially another board member who's able to take control back, where they won't have to worry about the ethical consequences of QStar or AGI. They won't have to worry about a CEO that's diverted his attention. And there's also the other aspect to it, Microsoft. So as soon as Sam Altman was kicked out, Microsoft is a major partner. They own 49%. They invested $13 billion into OpenAI. They said Sam Altman and Greg Brockman are welcomed. And not only that, but most of the 700 employees who signed, almost everybody, since Microsoft is a major partner, they would gladly accept anybody who's able to work with them, whether it's through OpenAI or potentially creating a new team for artificial intelligence projects. They were ready to sign everybody on board. Now, potentially there could be consequences where they want to be able to start immediately, but for the next year, with California's there was a prohibition. This prohibition against non-competes is starting January 1st. And with that, they would be able to hire a lot of people. Plus, they'd probably need a little bit of time to get the cash for. I mean, we're talking about 700 employees, each of them making 6 figures and potentially 7 figures for the main executives. But they would take on most of the very important team leads, the research scientists, the executives, all of these very privileged relationships, the members who made this company what it was. And at the root of all this, we're talking about the power over the resources needed to develop advanced AI systems. Well, if they're taking most of the company away, they now hold this power. They're able to do whatever they want with it. And the power to decide how to balance current harms. Well, this was this ethical question behind the board's reasoning. But if you go fully for profit now into Microsoft, obviously Microsoft still has its own ethics to consider. But the vast training, the vast resources needed to develop all of this was a win-win scenario for Microsoft. Now, when they came back, Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, some of these employees came back to OpenAI, Microsoft still owns the company. Well, part of it, it's a strategic partnership. Sam Altman now changed the board, so he has further control, and most of the employees are on board with this. So some people said it's a killer acquisition instead of a partnership. It gives Microsoft unparalleled access to a tech unicorn that was on track for a multi-billion-dollar valuation. Some experts saying as much as 87 to over $100 billion before the shakeup. And with that, we're now directed to the present day, where Sam Altman has returned. He said he loves OpenAI. Everything he's done over the past few days has been in service of keeping his team and the mission together. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, says he's encouraged by the changes to the OpenAI board. He believes this is a first essential step on a path to a more stable, well-informed, and effective governance. And it's a win-win scenario for Sam Altman. It's a win-win scenario for Microsoft. And for the other couple board members that were kicked out, it was a coup that might have had good ethical reasons behind it. We don't really know. Elon Musk tweeted out to Ilya on X that, hey, what was the actual reason? If it was potentially AGI or something that could threaten humanity, it is something that should be public knowledge. We should know about it. But we won't really know because nobody has this. Actually, these are all just rumors. There's some leaks, but nobody has fully gone out and described the whole situation. We're just piecing certain puzzle pieces together. So with that said, that is the OpenAI chaos right now. Thanks for watching. You have a good one and take care.